win, we are also going to win the Attorney General's office. And we are finally going to have law and order in this state. And tonight, to tell you guys, I am just so happy that our friend Joe Jaworski is here tonight. Honor to introduce Joe Jaworski to those of you who don't know him, my friends. Come on up.
Well, I hope you're as proud of your president as I am. Great turnout tonight. This is one of the preeminent clubs in the state of Texas. It's good to be back in Richardson, and let me introduce myself to those who I have not yet met. I am Joe Jaworski. I am a third-generation Texas lawyer, a former mayor of Galveston, and I'm the grandson of a Texan who prosecuted World War II Nazis. He also prosecuted the President of the United States of America and won. What's old is new again. His blood is my blood. And so hear me when I say, I am ready, I am unafraid, and I am running to be your next Attorney General. Yeah! I'm running to be Attorney General because justice cannot be for sale. I'll lead with integrity, not indictments. And I will fight the bullies, and I will push back against the Trump MAGA agenda. Richardson, let's all be clear about what this race is really about. It's about more than laws and courtrooms. It's truly about the heart and soul of who we are as Democrats and who we are as Texans. Because as the chairman pointed out, when Texas Democrats have their act together and are leading on the national stage, things happen in the right way. When you have Texas Republicans leading on the world stage, chaos ensues. And it's our opportunity, it is our duty to use the following facts that are all going to coincide at the same time in 2026 to fix this problem. We know what the problem is. We've had 30 years of Republican leadership, and it's bad in the governor's office. It's bad with the Lieutenant Governor Ginny. But when the Attorney General is occupied by the likes of Ken Paxton, he can file suit in the Supreme Court of the United States and disable the rule of law. Imagine a Democrat who is a proud product of Texas law schools who would come and represent the people. In my view, past behavior is an indicator of future performance. I am a former mayor of Galveston, never got a dime for it. Before that, I was on the city council for 6 years. And it was the sort of service that was pro bono. You'd give everyone your cell phone, and you would be there to say, how can I help you? Well, when I was elected mayor, it was shortly after a crisis. And that crisis was Hurricane Ike in 2008. What happened was a 100-year storm that blew people out of their homes. People were truly bereft. And Galveston, being the jewel of the Gulf that many of you come to love, was on its back. And it was not pretty. And what's interesting is, at the time, we talk about how Democrats make a difference. Our congressman was Dr. Ron Paul. And having been on the team with the mayor, we went to Ron Paul and said, won't you help us? And he said, I'm sorry, I don't believe in handouts. Now think about how that must be to a tax-paying local. But we've paid our taxes dutifully every year, and Congressman, you won't help us. Here's a little-known fact about Galveston's recovery, and it's something I am intimately aware of and proud of my island. It was the Black Ministers Association of Galveston that saved our island. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when Dr. Paul wouldn't help us, you know who they called? The great Texas Democratic Congresswoman, Sheila Jackson Lee. And they called our congressman in the 9th, Al Green. And they put a package together when Obama was president and when Harry Reid was the majority leader and when Nancy Pelosi was the speaker. And they put a package together that was $1 billion to rebuild Galveston. The reason I'm telling you this story is that I succeeded as mayor, Lyda Ann Thomas, this Democrat, Henry Cisneros, when he was working for Clinton as HUD secretary. And it's called mixed income development. What this means is you triple the number of units, doctors and lawyers, nurses and firemen, teachers, and yes, income eligible public housing tenants. Well, you can imagine that this was very popular in certain areas, but it wasn't in others. The racists came after it. And even worse, the landlords who made bank on Section 8 properties that they owned came after me. Yeah, they had a recall. I beat the recall. They recruited candidates to run against me. I beat them all except my main opponent. And I made it to a runoff in June 2012. Now, you guys go back in your mind and remember what was going on in 2012. That is when Ted Cruz ascended to power. So go back to that era, and you know what I'm talking about, that ugly Tea Party. This is what your man Joe Jaworski was mayor within this atmosphere. And I'll never forget 2 weeks before the runoff election where I was fighting for my life, but convinced that in my bones I knew mixed income development was the way to go, to stand right by our people, because everyone deserves to come home after a disaster. There I was. And the cabal asked for a midnight meeting, as I like to call it. They wanted to talk to me, and so I went to hear them out. And it was incredible what they proposed. It was as absurd as it was ugly. They said, look, Jaworski, you drop this plan, and we'll pull our candidate back and he'll endorse you. Well, I told them all to go to hell. I called a special meeting of the Housing Authority the next week, and we made sure to sign the notice to proceed on this magnificent plan of mixed income development. Right in front of them, we signed it. I lost the election a week later. But you know what? After 3 years of federal litigation, our plan stood like a well-built foundation in a hurricane, and that mixed income development was built. And it's now fully occupied, and children are safe when they walk to school. The families have cookouts. There is trick-or-treating in Halloween. Families are safe and they are at peace because everyone deserves to come home. The reason I tell you this story is that past performance really is an indicator of what the future brings. I'm not going to be scared in the office of the Attorney General because I know that I'm going to be dealing with some hostile forces, possibly in state government and most certainly in the federal government. And I tell you these stories because you have a choice. Are we going to have a fighter? It is our time now to lead this state.
Yes.
The road ahead will not be easy, my friends, but it's ours to walk together. And I say that journey, that consequential journey, begins right here at 4 Bullets in Richardson. Jenny, I'm telling you, Richardson area Democrats, let us go forward and show the state. Actually, let's show the nation what true Democratic leadership looks like. It looks like this. I'll never lie to you. I can't be bought, and I have your back. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you so much for coming out tonight, man.